We're on the brink of a really, really exciting time. And there is a challenge ahead of us that I call a challenge for opportunity and a challenge for need. So we have an opportunity to fix what is broken here and to fix what we need to fix, and we clearly have a need. We're in the midst in the country of transitioning from an old model of how we manage tourism, that is the Bermuda Department of Tourism, to a new model, which is going to be called the Bermuda Tourism Authority. You might say, well, why are we doing this? And my answer is really quite simple. We are in crisis, and we have two choices. We either rejuvenate or we harvest. So rejuvenate means turn it around, and harvest means that we actually get out of the business. And I would submit to you today that is absolutely not acceptable. We are the foundation, I think, of this country and its economy is tourism. I actually get frustrated when I hear people say, well, there are two legs to our economy, tourism and international business. I think it's absolutely wrong. I think the foundation of the economy is tourism, out of which grow two legs. One, leisure tourism, and the other, business tourism. 4 divisions of the new Tourism Authority. One in tourism investment, and I'll come back to these in a moment. 2 is in what we're calling product and experiences. So most times when you think of product, you think of the physical product, a hotel or a restaurant or a boat. It's really experiential, and that's a critical word. The 3rd is, of course, sales and marketing. We're going to have to drive business to get here. And the 4th, because it is a new enterprise, because it is not a government department, it has to have a section that deals with corporate functions. So this is accounting and HR and all the things that if you were to create a new company, you put that company together with all of those foundational things. So these divisions are going to be responsible for getting hotel investment and funding here and other forms of investment, taking our product and improving it. So we talk about this a lot, but the physical product certainly needs change, and our services need to be improved, and our experiences need to be upgraded. Everybody says when they come to Bermuda, what a wonderful place it is. But not everything works perfectly. And I think we all know that. If we actually stop and look in the mirror, I think we'd recognize that the customer isn't leaving completely satisfied all the time. And it doesn't matter what business you're in, whether you're in retail or banking or whatever, if the customer leaves, then they're going to vote with their feet and their wallets, and they're either not going to come back or they're going to tell their friends not to come here. The Tourism Authority will have 4 leaders. And the first is a new CEO. So you might have seen ads for that particular position. We are in the process and should have somebody in charge of running this business or this enterprise by January. And underneath that CEO will be 3 essentially chief positions: chief of sales and marketing, chief of product and experiences that I mentioned earlier, and chief of investments. Now those last 2, the chief of investments and the chief of product is actually brand new. In the old model, the Bermuda Department of Tourism was effectively a sales and marketing organization. That's what it did. It really didn't get involved with the product. It licensed hotels, but it sort of said, okay, we're stepping out of that. That's another ministry. They should do culture. This should be parks and all the rest of it. The BTA is going to be involved with every single department of government because there are 2 sources of that product. There's the private sector that owns hotels and restaurants and boats, and then there's the public sector that owns the airport, the roads, owns the education system, owns parks. We need to fix what we call the shoulder seasons. So if we say that the 3 months that are successful are June, July, and August, we need to first of all fix March, April, May, and then September, October, November. 6 months. And then, if we can, not if, when we can, we will focus on December, January, and February, what we used to call in the old days the rendezvous season. But those 6 months, I submit to you all, can be fixed. We have to fix them, but they can be fixed because there's wonderful things to do in Bermuda from March to May. There are terrific things to do in Bermuda from September to October. And we did them before, but we cannot slip back to the days when we rely on 3 months. The industry and the community loses money year on year. So if we can stand up those 6 months, add them to the 3, and then get looking at the winter months, and whether it's bridge, marathons, golf, or whatever, there are huge opportunities here. The 5 hubs in our tourism plan, in my view, are quite exciting. They're self-evident. It's St. George's, Hamilton, Dockyard, and what we call the beaches. Those are the 4. The most exciting one to me, and it was the one that was established at the end of the plan, is the water around us. The water around us takes all of Bermuda, not necessarily the blue halo, but all of Bermuda as we're looking outside this window, and says that's going to be the 5th hub. And in my view, ladies and gentlemen, it's the singular, underutilized asset that we have. The water around us, everything from water sports to research to eco-tourism, all of those things, if we stood them all up together and got everybody in the same room and said, we have a huge opportunity amongst the 5 clearest waters in the world, incredible views, incredible wreck diving, the largest number of wrecks in the world, research, second to Woods Hole at BIOS. There are huge opportunities here. We don't connect them very well. And that's one of the things that we're going to focus on. If we operate the same way that we did before, we're going to get the same results. And I think that's the closing message that I've got. It needs all of us, not just the Tourism Authority will lead the way. We need the government, we need Bermudians, we need businesses. The fixes are not quick and they're not easy. But if we put our heads down and work together, we can do it. Focus, hard work, I think are absolutely critical. And if we learn to do things differently, we'll get different results.